Diversity in the living world. The living world. Biology is the science of life forms and living process. The living world comprises an amazing diversity of living organisms. Early man could easily perceive the difference between inanimate matter and living organisms. Early man divided some of the inanimate matter, wind, sea, fire, etc., and some among the animal and plant. A common feature of all such form of inanimate and animate object was the sense of awe or fear that they evoked. The description of living organisms, including human being, began much later in human history. Societies which indulge in anthropocentric view of biology could register limited progress in biological knowledge. Systematic and momental description of life form brought in out of necessity detailed system of identification, nomenclature, and classification. The biggest spin off such a study was the recognition of the sharing of similarities among living organisms both horizontally and vertically, that all present day living organisms are related to each other and also to all organisms that ever lived on this earth, was a revelation which humbled man and led to culture movement for conservation of biodiversity. In the following chapter of this unit you will get a description including biology, taxonomy, zoography, evolution, systematics, and the history and philosophy of biology. He almost single-handedly made the origin of species diversity the central question of evolutionary biology that it is a today. He also pioneered the currently accepted definition of a biological species. Meyer was awarded the three prizes widely regarded as the Triple Crown of Biology: the Balzan Prize in 1983, the International Prize for Biology in 1994, and the Crawford Prize in 1999. Meyer died at the age of 100 in the year 2004. World. How wonderful is the living world! The wide range of living types is amazing. The extraordinary habitat in which we find living organisms, be it cold mountain, deciduous forest, oceans, freshwater lakes, deserts, or hot springs, leave us speechless. The beauty of a galloping horse, of the migrating bird, the valley of flowers, or the attacking shark evokes away and a deep sense of wonder. The ecological conflict and cooperation among members of a population and among population of a community, or even the molecular traffic inside a cell, make us deeply reflect on what indeed is life. The question has two implicate questions within it. The first is a technical one and seek answer to what living is as opposed to the non-living, and the second is a physiological one and seek answer to what the purpose of life is. As scientists, we shall not attempt answering the second question. We will try to reflect on what is living. Diversity in the living world. If you look around, you will see a large variety of living organisms, be it potted plant, insect, bird, your pets, or other animal and plant. There are also several organisms that you cannot see with your naked eye, but they are all around you. If you were to increase the area that you make observation in, the range and variety of organisms that you see would observation in the range and variety of organisms that you see would increase. Obviously, if you were to visit a dense forest, you would probably see a much greater number and kind of living organism in it. Each different kind of plant, animal, or organism that you see represent a species. The number of species that are known and described range between 1.7 1.8 million. They refer to biodiversity or the number and type of organism present on earth. We should remember here that as we explore new areas and even old ones, new organisms are continuously being identified. As stated earlier, there are millions of plant and animal in the world. We know the plant and animal in our own area by their local name. This local name would vary from place to place, even within a country. Probably you would recognize the confusion that would be created if we did not find way and mean to talk to each other to refer to organism we are talking about. Hence, there is need to standardize the naming of living organisms such that a particular organism is known by the same name all over the world. This process is called nomenclature. Obviously, nomenclature or naming is only possible when the organism is described correctly and we know to what organism the name is attached to. This is identification. In order to facilitate the study, number of scientists have it stabilized procedure to assign a scientific name to each organism. This is acceptable to biologists all over the world. For plant, scientific names are based on aggregate principle and criteria which are provided in International Code for Botanical Nomenclature (ICBN). You may ask, how are animal named? Animal taxonomists have evolved International Code of Zoological Nomenclature (ICZN). The scientific name ensures that each organism has only one name. Description of any name should enable the people in any part of the world to arrive at the same name. They also ensure that such a name has not been used for any other non-organisms. Biologists follow universally accepted principle to provide scientific name to no organism. Each name has two components, the generic name and the specific epithet. The system of providing a name with two components is called binomial nomenclature. This naming system, given by Carlos Linnaeus, is being practiced by biologists all over the world. The naming system using a two-word format was found convenient. Let us take the example of mango to understand the way of providing scientific name better. The scientific name of mango is written as Mangifera indica. Let us see how it is a binomial name. In this name, Mangifera represents the genus, while indica is a particular species or a specific epithet. Other universal rule of nomenclature are as follows. Biological names are generally in Latin and written in italics. They are Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of their origin. The first word in a biological name represents the genus, while the second component denotes the specific epithet. Both the word in a biological name, when handwritten, are separately underlined or printed in italics to indicate their Latin origin. The first word denoting the genes starts with a capital letter, while the specific epithet starts with a small letter. It can be illustrated with the example of Mangifera indica. Name of the author appear after the specific epithet, example at the end of the biological name, and is written in abbreviated form. For example, Mangifera indica linen. It indicates that this species was first described by Linnaeus. Since it is nearly impossible to study all the living organisms, it is necessary to devise some means to make this possible. The process is classification. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient categories based on some easily observable character. For example, we easily recognize groups such as plant or animal or dog, cat or insect. The moment we use any of this term, we associate character with the organism in that group. What image do you see when you think of a dog? Obviously, each one of us will see dogs and not cat. Now, if we were to think of LSTN, we know what we are talking about. Similarly, suppose we were to say mammals, you would of course think of animal with external ear and body hair. Likewise, in plant, if we try to talk of wheat, the picture in each of our mind will be of wheat plant, not of rice or any other plant. Hence, all these dogs, cat, mammal, wheat, rice plant, animal, etc. are convenient category we use to study organism. The scientific term for this category is taxa. Here you must recognize that taxa can indicate category at different level. Plant also form a taxa. Wheat is also a taxa. Similarly, animal, mammal, dog are all taxa. But you know that a dog is a mammal and mammal are animal. Therefore, animal, mammal, and dog represent taxa at different level. Hence, based on characteristic, all living organisms can be classified into different taxa. This process of classification is taxonomy. External and internal structure, along with the structure of cell development process and ecological information of organism, are essential and form the basis of modern taxonomy study. Here, characterization, identification, classification, and nomenclature are the processes that are basic to taxonomy. Taxonomy is not something new. Human beings have always been interested in knowing more and more about the various kind of organism, particularly with reference to their own use. In early day, human beings need to find sources for their basic need of food, clothing, and shelter. Hence, the earliest classification were based on the uses of various organisms. Human beings were since long not only interested in knowing more about different kind of organism and their diversity, but also the relationship among them. The branch of study was referred to as systematic. The word systematic is derived from the Latin word systema, which means systematic arrangement of organism. Linnaeus Linnaeus used systematic nature as the title of his publication. The scope of systematic was later enlarged to include identification, nomenclature, and classification. Systematic takes into account evolutionary relationship between organism, taxonomy categories. Classification is not a single step process but involves herdsy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomy arrangement, it is called the taxonomy category, and all category together constituent the taxonomy hierarchy. Each category referred to as a unit of classification in fact represent a rank and is commonly termed as taxon, plural taxa. Taxonomy, category and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. Insect represent a group of organisms sharing common feature like three pair of jointed legs. It means insect are recognized concrete object which can be classified and thus were given a rank or category. Can you name other such group of organisms? Remember, groups represent category. Category further denote rank. Each rank or taxon in fact represent a unit of classification. This taxonomy group category are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregate. Taxonomy study of all organisms All non-organisms have led to the development of common category, such as kingdom, phylum, or division for plant, class, order, family, genus, and species. All organisms, including those in the plant and animal kingdom, have species as the lowest category. Now, the question you may ask is how to place an organism in various categories. The basic requirement is the knowledge of characters of an individual or group of organisms. This helps in identifying similarity and dissimilarity among the individual of the same kind of organism as well as of other kind of organism. Species. Taxonomy study consider a group of individual organisms with fundamental similarity as a species. One should be able to discern one species from the other closely related species based on the distinct morphological differences. Let us consider Mangifera indica, Solanum tubersome potato, and Panthera leo loyan. All the three named indica, tubersome, and leo represent the specific epithet, while the first word Mangifera, Solanum, and Panthera are genera and represent another high level of taxon or category. Each genus may have one or more than one specific epithet represents different organism but having morphological similarity. For example, Panthera has another specific epithet called tigress, and Solanum includes species like Nigerium and Melogena. Human being belong to the species Spiens, which is grouped in the genus Homo. The scientific name thus for human being is written as Homo spiens genus. Genes comprise a group of related species which has more character in a common in comparison to species of other genera. We can say that genera are aggregate of closely related species. For example, potato and brinjal are two different species but both belong to the genus Solanum. Lion, Panthera leo, leopard, P. pardus, and tiger, P. tigris, with several common features, are also species of the genus Panthera. The genus differs from another genus Felis, which include cats. Family. The next category, family, has a group of related genera with a still less number of similarity as compared to genus and species. Family are characterized on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive feature of plant species. Among plant, for example, three different genera, Solanum, Putinea, and Datura, are placed in the family Solanaceae. Among animal, for example, genus Panthera, comprising lion, tiger, leopard, is put along with genus Felis, cats, in the family Felidae. Similarly, if you observe the feature of a cat and a dog, you will find some similarity and some difference as well. They are separated into two different family, Felidae and Canidae respectively. Order. You have seen earlier that category like species, genes, and family are based on a number of similar characters. Generally, order and other higher taxonomic category are identified based on the aggregate of character. Order being a higher category is the assemblage of family which exhibit a few similar characters. The similar characters are less in number as compared to different genera included in a family. Plant family like Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae are included in the order Polymonails mainly based on the floral characters. The animal order Carnivora include families like Felidae and Canidae. Class. This category include related order. For example, order Primata, comprising monkey, gorilla, and gibbon, is placed in class Mammalia along with order Carnivora that include animal like tiger, cat, and dog. Class Mammalia has other order also. Phylum. Class comprising animal like fishes, amphibians, reptile, birds, along with mammal, constitute the next higher category called phylum. All these based on the common feature like presence of notochord and dorsal hollow neural system are included in phylum. Chordata in case of plant classes with a few similar characters are assigned to a higher category called division. Kingdom. All animals belonging to various phyla are assigned to the highest category called kingdom Animalia in the classification system of animals. The kingdom Plantae, on the other hand, is distinct and comprises all plants from various divisions. Henceforth, we will refer to these two groups as animal and plant kingdom. The taxonomic category from species to kingdom have been shown in ascending order, starting with species in figure 1.1. These are broad category. However, taxonomists have also developed subcategory in this hierarchy to facilitate more sound and scientific placement of various taxa. Look at the hierarchy. Can you recall the basis of arrangement? Say, for example, as we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of common characters goes on decreasing. Lower the taxa, more are the characteristics that the member within the taxon share. Higher the category, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to other taxa at the same level. Hence, the problem of classification become more complex. Table 1.1 indicates the taxonomic category to which some common organisms like housefly, mango, and wheat belong. Table 1.1 Organism with their taxonomy category. Common name Maine, housefly, mango, wheat. Biological name Homo spines, Musca domestica, Mangifera indica, Trichum astium. Genes Homo, Musca, Mangifera, Trichum. Family Hominoid, Muscidae, Anacardiaceae, Poaceae. Order Primata, Diptera, Spinedales, Poales. Class Mammalia, Insecta, Dicotyledonate, Monocotyledonate. Phylum या division Chordata, Orthopoda, Angiospermae. Summary. The living world is rich in a variety. Millions of plant and animal have been identified and described, but a large number still remain unknown. The very range of organism in terms of size, color, habitat, psychological and morphological feature make us seek the defining characteristic of living organism. In order to facilitate the study of kind and diversity of organism, biologists have evolved character rule and principle for identification, nomenclature, and classification of organism. The branch of knowledge dealing with this aspect to refer to as taxonomy. The taxonomy study of various species of plant and animal are useful in agriculture, forestry, industry, and in general for knowing our bioresources and other diversity. The basics of taxonomy like identification, naming, and classification of organism are universally evolved under international code based on the resemblance and distinct difference. Each organism is identified and assigned a correct scientific biological name comprising two words as per the binomial system of nomenclature. An organism represent, occupy a place or position in the system of classification. There are many categories, rank and are generally referred to as taxonomy category or taxa. All the category constituent a taxonomy hierarchy.